what's happening with you?
What it do? What it do?
Yo. It's your boy Jay Kendall.
It's your boy E, man. We got a special guest today.
Introduce yourself, good sir.
Derrick.
Derrick is in the house.
D. E and J and D today.
Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up for young Derrick in the house.
Appreciate that.
What's up, chat? You know, we up in here today, and as always, live and direct from here, Cloud Rise Studios, and we're just gonna have some fun. So we told you we was gonna have some guests. We told you we got some new stuff happening. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? We are men of our words. That's what we out here doing. So first off, we gonna just
Principality, Smokey.
We just gonna get right up into it. Mr. Bird, what we got today? What we talking about?
We got some shit, man. What we gonna talk about?
What?
First thing first. I gotta say.
Oh, hold on.
Rest in peace to them kids in Minneapolis.
What was that? What that shooting was?
Yeah. There was a school shooting in Minneapolis, right?
Man, I heard something about that. Yeah,
it was at a church. Hold on, I got some info on it.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was 17 people injured, 2 children killed. A shooter opened fire through the windows. I guess it was like a Catholic hate crime or something. They don't have nothing on the suspect or whatnot. They say he did do some videos and posted where he was putting a knife in the window where they was or whatever, like a drawing of a church and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's just cold, bro.
So how many? So what was the casualties? Like, what was it like?
It's only 2 casualties, but 17 injured.
But it was 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So rest in peace. Thoughts and prayers to those families.
Hey, man.
For losing
your kids. In school, you said?
Yeah. What you think of that?
Catholic school.
What you think of that?
Well, yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
wait, do you got kids?
Of course, I got kids.
How many kids you got?
I got a total of 6 kids.
6 kids.
He right there with me. Let's go.
Hey, and what's the age range? What you got?
Anywhere from 27 down to 5.
Okay, so you did that recently. You in 5 years. That ain't like it was like that's the whole span.
I did mine recently. My oldest is 6.
This man,
the youngest is 13. I didn't take a break.
This man got generations.
See what? I do have a cutoff point. For me, it was that I wanted to after 45 or whatever. I wanted to make sure that, especially after having a grandchild, I don't want to have any kids after that.
Cause you don't want to be like,
my
hey, this your little babysit your nephew. I mean your uncle. Go babysit your uncle, huh?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, but back on the topic though, as far as the school situation goes, they should have that unlocked already. If you get what I'm saying, like schools should have security. It should be at the point where a stranger shouldn't be able to walk up into any school.
Well, man,
because we have the technology for war, we should have the technology for you know what I'm trying to say?
To protect why we schools. Have the technology to protect the kids, right?
It should
and
be.
And the thing is, though, do you see where these school shootings happen, right? This ain't in the hood.
I mean, actually, if you look it up, it's happening in a lot of different states.
Rarely in the hood. It's always some. It's always some. What is it? Suburban white neighborhoods that this shit happen. What's the difference though? In the hood, they already got some metal detectors in them motherfucker. Why don't they put some metal detectors and shit into the white schools too?
I know, but if you think about it, the same kind of safety that you will go into a government building should be the same kind of safety it takes to deal with someone harming your child. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we have technology to have cameras, to have security, and what's more important than the future? You know what I'm trying to say? So it's it's what people put first. Is what you consider important. And at the end of the day, you can see how I don't want to say too much, but the American school system,
it needs revamp all the fuck together.
I mean, what the kids are learning is not even up to par at the end of the day, because kids nowadays
they just trying to skip them by to get their checks.
Right.
You feel me? For real, they're trying to get their education checks from the government, so they just skip them through. Okay, we gonna pass them. They ain't ready for that passing. They ain't even. A lot of kids is not where they should be, but they just pushing them through. You feel me?
Yeah, but for me, it's not. It's like when a kid goes to school, they supposed to learn the values of how to survive in this world. You know what I'm trying to say? Like science and math, top notch, that's important, but at the end of the day, a lot of the times, like when I was going to school, they done changed things from then to now. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So it's a big difference. And the only thing that still remain the same is math and science. So like, nowadays, if a kid ain't going to school to be an engineer or somewhat in the medical field, there's no other job out there.
Right. And then when they go into school, they're not even going for, they're not learning about engineering or the medical field in school.
Or just the basic needs of life. Because, it may sound crazy, but I feel like the discipline that people get from going to boot camp or the military is somewhat needed in school, because these kids nowadays are more like, I don't know, like they soft kids, they internet kids. You know what I'm trying to say? So they look for excuses or look for a reason to have an issue.
We talked about this before. You remember when we did we was talking about like things that could help build the educational system, right?
Yeah.
There was a couple things like, one is I said like, they need to learn like business math, like fucking balancing checkbooks and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Interpersonal and intercultural communication, like communicating with other people. Like communication is like 90% of all things either succeed or fail based on communication.
But that's also why I send them to school.
Right.
Because they're supposed to build that communication. That's why I say I'm not a big fan of homeschooling. I understand why parents homeschool as far as safety issues go, because the schools nowadays are great.
But they lacking that interaction with others that's outside their family.
Right, because they need that. They need that different interaction. They need to go through what it feels to be like, whether it be bullied or just go through these different trials so they could understand how to deal with it later on in life. Because, school is not just life. That's the beginning stages.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? When you go out there and you got to work and you got to learn how to deal with bosses and managers and your co-workers, it's something that should be taught in school. You know what I'm trying to say? Kids should be more like a little bit more equipped to be ready for the world.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
They should be over there.
Kids should be learning how to use guns in school. A lot of things kids should be learning, because like I said,
how to start a business in school.
Yeah, learning how everything, because at the end of the day, it's about survival, and you want your kid to get the best training possible. They should be learning how to fight in school. They should be learning a lot of things in school, and when they finish school, go towards a real career.
Because what I learned was how to fuck and sell drugs when I was in school.
Of course.
But that was the era. It's about time we evolve. And like I said, it all boils down to our kids being safe in school and actually going to school to learn something, to really having something there to obtain. Because at the end of the day, like, imagine if your kids went to school and they came back and they learned taekwondo and they learned how to cook.
Like China, don't China. Maybe this old school shit, but I thought China, like, all their kids gotta go through the.
Well, I don't know personally, but I heard, But I mean, I heard they do 6 days of school out there.
Oh yeah, they do that too.
And and then everybody.
But I wouldn't want my kids in this school system 6 days, because my kids. I send them to school, and they be well behaved, and then they come back with bad habits. That's what I don't like about these schools out.
From school, they get bad habits from school.
Yes. From them other kids. They go and fuck with them other kids, and they come back trying to whine and cry about bap.
Well, I don't bap them. To a lot of it,
I don't bap them, chat. But I'm just saying.
A lot of it, too, the teachers.
Growing up, I had condoning the bapping, all right? We ain't out here bapping.
We don't condone the bapping.
We don't condone the bapping.
What you mean the bapping? What's the bapping? Put me on.
He was over there bapping.
Popping the kids. Well, let me say something. Some kids need it.
Does not condone that, but sometimes
same damn time
it might be needed.
If it's done out of love, it's a difference.
I mean, it is. It's a lesson.
Some parents. We live in a world where some parents don't know the borderline. They don't know where to draw the line.
Yeah, because some of them be too much,
too aggressive, and they got their own trauma and issues that they dealing with that they push off on their kids.
Right, or they let anger. Don't ever discipline your kids in anger.
Of course not.
They gotta be for strictly disciplinary.
Tell them, Mr. Barry. Tell them.
But that's the whole thing. That boils down again. The kids do need discipline. Like I said, these kids nowadays, and the teachers nowadays, I can't say they even, they're worse. A lot of these teachers are young. I grew up having older teachers, people who I feel like, at least experience life and have more wisdom. You got these teachers nowadays, 22, 23 teachers.
Exactly, and they be banging the students, man. I ain't never had no teacher. Actually,
I mean, I don't know that.
I know a couple.
Hold up. When I was in junior high, though, I had this teacher. What was her name? She was young though. And I remember one time she was talking about, she told us a story about like, and she was in the shower with her boyfriend, and then we was like, you was in the shower? And
wait,
then,
your teacher too?
Our teacher told us that. Yeah, we was like in 7th grade, and then she was like, oh, I'm in the shower with my boy. Look, she had to be.
And she talking about something washing her hair.
I don't know, this is kind of weird.
Wait, where's she going with it?
She said this in front of the class, I'll never forget this. And then she was talking about something that was like, you was in the shower. She was like, yeah, we both had our bathing suits on. And we was like, yeah, whatever.
Fuck out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was 7th grade. And we remember, hey, what was your name? Hey, you know what? When I remember, I'm going to look you up. And if you still... I want to see if you still married. Hey, man, she was banging. I ain't even gonna lie. From what I remember in my shit, like what I remember in my memory from back at being 14.
I know a couple beautiful teachers. I went to college.
But can I ask you a question? Do you remember anything she taught you? Because you remember
shower education.
Shower education. Like, what was the lesson in that?
It was English.
Where was she going with it though?
Like I can tell he had a crush on her too.
All I remember was
he also had a crush on her.
I remember she was banging. That's what I remember. I remember she was banging.
That's the problem. That's the problem with what's going on nowadays in the school system.
But
we need teachers
that love teachers. No, but
we need teachers that love teachers.
Personally, I'm offended. Because she didn't try to holler at me.
No, I feel you on.
What you said, 7th grade?
I was so I was like 14. What
she ain't supposed to try to holler at you.
I know.
But I know. He felt like he was left out.
Yeah, all these other like
it's a different era.
Hey, and you know what?
You should have said piss or it didn't happen.
Hold on, all y'all dudes who be snitching and telling y'all boys, shame on you.
You know what? To be honest with you,
shame.
I can't even say it didn't happen back in the days because in these times,
but no,
we have cameras. So it could have been going on forever.
It has been going on, but we just didn't snitch.
There was like
we just didn't snitch because
there was certain
for guys, actually, is it really rape for a guy?
Hey, hold on.
I don't think it's rape.
Let me go. Let me go on the record and say E&J ain't condoning that. We ain't over here supporting that. But what we trying to say is that in our day we wouldn't have snitched and we didn't tell on nobody because somebody did that.
Nowadays they might be feeling different. Like
it was a badge
boys
of honor.
Might be feeling
like if you got with a teacher that was like 35 and you was 14 and you could smack them and she was ready to do that. It was like, oh man!
I don't think that boys back in the day snitched. They just told their homies, and the homies ended up, and the word
being
got
jealous.
around.
People get jealous because they want the same. They want the same attention.
That's what happened nowadays. Yeah. Same thing. People get jealous. That's the only way they get caught up a lot of times because they go tell their boys, and then the boys be like, oh well, what's up? Because they ain't she ain't trying to mess with me. So then I'm a snitch, which is messed up. And that's what I'm saying. Like you keep it going. Like why you gotta. Like you had a good thing going, whatever. But again, I ain't condoning that. I'm not saying that's right. Like if you a teacher and you taking advantage of
you're talking about what you like your personal experience, what he would prefer happen to him.
But I'm just saying, when I was a kid,
he wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't have snitched on nobody.
Hell no.
But that was back, whatever. That's neither here nor there. I just, all in fun, all in jest, obviously. Y'all want people out here, because I know how y'all be. Y'all be taking stuff seriously. Y'all really be out there trying to go back however many years. How many years would that be? That would be some years. Like, trying to be saying some stuff.
Look, they going to get famous, and then they going to be like, remember that time he was condoning some teacher-student intercourses?
I don't condone it. I'm not saying it's right at all.
Yeah.
I want to make that 110%.
Oh, but there was some teachers I would have hit them cakes.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying I wouldn't have snitched, but I ain't saying it's right. Of course, it ain't right. You shouldn't do that, and I ain't no way condoning that. And I want that to be 110% clear for y'all. Be in the comments trying to say some ooh-wop, because I know y'all. But we over here and we don't condone the ooh-wop. That's not what we do.
It's about child safety.
It's about safety. All these. How many kids you got?
6.
How many kids you got? So 12 kids in between them, and I'm uncle. We don't do none of that.
Hey, so back to the child safety though.
100% safety.
So this thing, like a lot of times when that school shit happened, right? They start talking about the shootings.
Yeah.
Right. They start talking about gun control. You see how that pop up?
Well, you know what? The funny thing is, if they stepped up on the security. The gun
security in the school
and within the school where I mean at the end of the
metal detectors in all
a person shouldn't be able to walk up in a school.
Did they have metal detectors at this particular school?
No, man.
I mean classroom doors should be either locked, sealed. A person shouldn't be able to just walk up in the classroom.
No, the question is that at this particular school that this happened, they didn't have no metal detectors.
No. Right, that's the whole thing, right? No one should be able to enter a school without even at least being searched or properly,
So in the inner city,
well, this person didn't enter the school though. This is kind of one of them situations where a lot of the things that would prevent that shit wouldn't have prevented it because this motherfucker shot from the street. Through the window.
I got what you're saying now.
But a lot of these other ones, like a lot of the majority of the school shootings, the motherfuckers.
So he was like a sniper.
Yeah,
so he over there like he could have been a mile away.
And then he killed himself. Yeah.
Well, you seen that? Hey, you seen them? You seen the military snipers that they say they could be almost damn near a mile away?
Yeah. He wasn't that though.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying. Think about that. You could be a mile away.
But see, the whole thing is.
But this was a rare occasion. Like most of the time, this shit happens to where the motherfuckers is going into school, and so the metal detectors, all that shit, that would help with the shit.
Yeah, but you say shut outside. My whole thing with the gun control question you asked is like I get what they mean by that because you do got crazy people that may not have a record,
right,
and that would end up getting a gun and doing something crazy later on down the road,
right.
The
only problem with it is the fact that so many guns is already like we're flooded. America's like flooded with guns. Like everybody got some guns, whether they're legal or not. You feel me? And so, if you outlaw certain things, it's still gonna be people are still gonna be able to find them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I almost believe in the opposite. We should bring back the open carry type shit like Texas, because when you got a gun and I got a gun, I'm less likely to start some shit with you because I know you could shoot me back.
I agree.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. I agree, but that still come with the fact that if the person that's having the gun is disciplined,
right?
Because you got, like I said, you
you
got a lot of these young emotional kids, like you were saying before.
So you should have. I believe in like psychological testing before giving somebody a gun, shit like that. Like we should be background checked.
Well, back to the original topic. Yeah. I believe that kids should learn that in school. So from the time you get that training at a young age from someone as a professional.
Well, you think they should get a pistol in school?
No, I ain't say get a pistol. I'm talking about the learning of guns, the learning of what's really out there in this world.
But I mean, because at the end of though, like you mean like I should be able to.
I'm not saying at kindergarten, but I'm saying like
before you by high school,
before you even finish high school, kids should be able to learn gun course, fight course, cooking course, everything dealing with life, swimming, whatever it is.
That'd be real, but at the same time. It's hard with all these kids on all these meds because they say like 9 out of 10 of them school shooters is kids on these they giving them meds like the antidepressants, you know what I mean?
And then that's a deeper topic.
And that's
because I don't know whether or not if what they giving them is helping them or making it worse, or I don't know.
Might be helping some, might be making a lot worse, but really like a lot of them kids they probably would do better off without them things that interfere with the chemicals in your mind instead. Get some motherfucking counseling type shit, or smoke some weed or something, do some natural shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in all cases you can't just resolve it with weed or just some natural.
Just
in some cases you do gotta. In some cases you may have to restrain, or a kid may have to be. Have to be.
He might have a real severe chemical imbalance.
Because you do got people out here that's all kind of bipolar, crazy, and schizo. So yeah, then again, you got a lot of these parents that are young minded and not really aware, and they kind of like brush it off, and then later on down the road they find themselves being killed by their own kid. You know what I'm trying to say? So you can't take these things loosely, you know what I'm trying to say?
That be happening around here, right? Didn't that happen recently? Didn't somebody get murked by that kid? Am I mistaken?
In Grass Valley, yeah. It was on the news. It was in Grass Valley's news.
Like, man, we out here. And
y'all need to stop spoiling your kids to the point where they.
But it's like an epidemic though in certain in modern times where people are, where kids in particular are murking their parents for seemingly no reason. Like they got good lives, they live in that home, all of the above, and then out of the blue they just off their parents.
See, you know what it is too? We live in a time where it's mainly a lot of technology, and our parents.
You blaming technology for that?
Well, I'm not blaming technology. It's more or less along the lines where a lot of our parents and our grandparents came from the struggle. So having that struggle compared to what these kids go through nowadays, they don't know that. So what they're going through, whether it be they being bullied or whether they feel for them it's a lot. You get what I'm trying to say? And if you as a parent cannot detect that your child needs extra help, a lot of time
pay more attention.
Right. A lot of time it be that too, because these kids be needing extra attention because it's a different era we live in. It's not the same era. Like it's a whole different era. This is like an era where, like I said, these kids be having anxiety. These kids don't want to work. These kids. Like I said,
killing your own mama, that's some shit that sounds like it's from the mountains of Pakistan.
It's based off the fact that she wanted him to go out there and she wanted him to move out. She wanted him to go to work, and he didn't want to get a job.
But I'm saying, what little black kid gonna kill his mama because he said some shit like that?
It's crazy.
That's some white shit.
No, that's not true.
Because
if you look at it right now. Right now in New York and Harlem, there was an African mother who died because her son.
There you go with this East Coast.
You can't say but you can't say it's a black and white situation.
Oh, I'm talking about California.
Hey, there they go. There they go.
No, but it's happening in the world. It's happening in every state.
We don't do that out here in California. We don't do that out here.
Well, it happened already. It happens everywhere. At the end of the day, people got to understand
that's the New York statistics. We don't. That's the New York. We don't do that out here. We don't murk our parents. Like, come on now. But for real though, they did that right down in the next town over, huh?
Well, yeah, it's happening in every state.
That's crazy, man.
I mean,
I don't understand. Like, hey, kids, understand your parents gave you life. Like, you wouldn't be here without them. And as messed up as they may be, they still your parents. You got to give them some respect. And that's crazy just to think that you would murder anybody, especially your parents. Like, man. I mean, I know some parents ain't worth a dang. You know what I mean? Like, you be like, dang, I can't believe you treat your kids that way.
That's why I feel like if we have a better system, a better school system, school should be a place of healing. You know what I'm trying to say? It shouldn't be a place where kids go there and get abused and be taught nonsense and not be prepared really for the world. How much billionaires you think is out here right now that didn't finish school?
I don't give a fuck.
If you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I feel you. I think Mr. Berry got some actual facts here. So what did you find out?
So, based on research, most parricides or, people killing their parents are committed by white male adolescents.
Well,
black adolescents are underrepresented in parricides compared to their proportion of the population.
But it's not saying that blacks don't do it.
Say that again.
Black adolescents are underrepresented in parricide statistics compared to other proportions of the population. So by proportionately, their population, they're underrepresented, which means they kill way less of their parents based on population.
So you saying
I get what you're saying.
Black people don't
like
kill
the majority
their parents as much.
Yeah,
right.
Is that's all basically by
far.
Based on statistics.
All this. And you break it down all what he was saying to the bare minimum. Like when you had them long equations, you had to break them down.
It's
you know
what
numbers,
I'm saying?
If they had long equations and break it down to the minimum. You remember that? Did y'all do that in math? You remember that? So if you get down to what the root of that whole big old thing actually equal is, he's saying black people don't usually kill their parents
and white people do it more than their population percentage.
I could believe that.
Now that's a crazy statistics. So we ain't promoting or condoning or saying anything like that or trying to promote one agenda over the other. That's the numbers don't lie.
It might just
so
be.
Hey, hold
like,
on, let me finish. You take that for what you may, people.
Right.
The numbers don't lie.
I got a simple solution. I think I know why this is though.
What?
Why?
So if you look back in history, right, where the white folks, like evolution, where white folks is up in the mountains and shit, right, where it was rougher, like they had snow and shit.
The Caucasus Mountain.
Yeah, where they had the
Caucasus,
and even northern, they was more north. You know what I mean? That's why their skin turned white in the first place.
They went and the nose, right, the nostrils
they
got
had
smaller.
to get more vitamin D with less sunlight. So what happened was it was a rough terrain. You feel me?
I'm listening.
So they was living and struggling to eat and shit. So they the type where the ones that survive is the ones that's gonna stab their brother in the back to motherfucking get a meal. You feel me? Oh shit, our cousin over there, that's the only female in the tribe. I'm killing all these motherfuckers so I could breed. You know what I mean? And those were the ones that passed on. That's what you feel? Yeah, that's the most scandalous, backstabbing ass motherfuckers was the ones that survived through the situation.
I think, you know what, I could be wrong, but I feel like, you know, when you look back, they tell you that the original person or the first oldest person they found is a African woman. Right?
Yeah, because all life started in Africa.
All life started in Africa.
Based on...
what I'm getting at is that there was a time where the Earth was going through, I guess, its transition, and they'll call it the what is it?
Like where it went from Pangea, where the continent split.
Yeah, continent splitting, and it went from a time where it was real cold. You know, it had a cold era.
Yeah,
the Ice Age. But the point I'm trying to make is that originally, if everybody had pigmentation, right? There was a time era where the people who had pigmentation went into caves. And them going into caves, after a while, some of them start to lose their pigmentation because they didn't have no sunlight.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically what I'm trying to get to is that we're still all one.
Yeah, we is.
You know what I'm trying to say?
All life started in Africa and they migrated to different directions. This is what anthropology will teach you. Like if
and then it was the flood, and then after the flood, that's what happened. Everybody
everybody was at one point a certain pigmentation in Africa, whether it might have been
due to the environment, due to
nobody knows
the
darkness
until we started to spread out.
Talking about we don't know darkness. We know the darkness. They was dark.
What level was it?
It's called straight melanins.
I know, but what level? 8, 9.
There's different levels.
They was straight blue black Africans that'd be like purple. You when they look at them that's think about how much power you got. Yeah. Think about how much melanin you could do them when you like blue black. Think about how much you can absorb.
You don't need no. Actually, they need more sun. They need to be in the sun all day and night.
That's what I'm saying. So think about that. If you was out there, you could take as much sunlight. Cause think about it. Yeah. Personally, that's what I think. I don't even know if it rained up until the flood. I think that's why people was tripping.
What, over salt and getting water and shit?
What you mean?
Like, I think it was supernaturally like...
No clouds?
Like, I think it was...
Otherwise, we had no atmosphere.
I think it was a whole, like... I'm just saying, I don't even know. Maybe, like, that's why they was tripping. Like, hey, you building this ark? You doing all this for... What?
Yeah,
what you talking about? It rain? But do you believe, you mean water about to come from the sky? Man, you tripping, bro.
You believe there was a
tripping.
Nah.
Because there's so much documentations, even if you read about if you read about the story of Gilgamesh, I don't know if you
but what I'm saying,
that's the oldest written mythology.
But about a flood similar to Noah's.
Yeah. Exactly, but what I'm saying is it's still, either way, you still had the flood on the fact, because otherwise there wouldn't have been the splitting of the continents like that. Because it was
you think the flood caused a split?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know, but I see what he's saying. I'm
thinking the flood caused a split. I'm thinking because before that, everybody that's how they got across. It was like all the land was connected, like
and they was able to walk across,
and they could walk across.
Yeah. Right.
That was all. So like, you walk across there, then all of a sudden, like you got all this rain and you got these canals. That's why they talk about like the Grand Canyon flow up different ways and all that, the water was way up here. Like, why was there a crevice carved in the canyon? Like, where it had to be water. And then think about it, if you had on dry land that never really got land or got rain, and you rain for 40 days of torrential rain, Like we know what we've seen in rain. But imagine, and ain't no way to stop none of it. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
you ain't got none of the land masses.
But you have to understand, too, during that time, the earth, you know how, like, sometimes people buy a house and you got to wait till the house settle? The earth was still going through its changes. Like, people don't expect the earth to change, to do things like have erosions.
Oh, yeah, it's still going through its
changes. Right, and as we change,
plate.
As we age, the earth is also aging.
Yeah.
But you got tectonic plates moving, too. Like, think about that, how massive that could be. Like think about that. Even in Bible terms,
about this last time
but even in the Bible, if you do your research, right, they got mention of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is
dragons.
But yeah, so dinosaurs but just think about that. And when they find a lot of these fossils, think about this. Had to be some crazy climate change. I don't know exactly what.
Well,
happened.
the Bible don't talk about dinosaurs.
There's like you have to
talk about dragons, don't it?
But there's dinosaurs in there. You got to think about it.
I don't remember that.
I don't know the exact scripture. I'll find it for you.
Because
we can come back to the.
The reason why I'm saying it is due to the fact that that's the reason why, a lot of religious people don't believe in dinosaurs.
If
you get into it, a lot of religious people believe.
That's not true.
They feel the fossils were man-made.
But that's not true because like you're saying.
If you look at mythology from all over the world, they all mention some form of dragon. Whether it's like Chinese in the north,
and that's a dinosaur.
Americans, I
believe that they were dinosaurs. I do believe that they were creatures.
Yeah.
And I believe during that time the earth was different. And it was able to maintain those creatures but the earth is a, how could I put it? It's a place where it doesn't really abstain life. The only reason we're still around is due to one thing, science. If it wasn't due to science, none of us would be here right now.
But if it's science
what you mean?
Okay, for example, back in the days,
our science, our knowledge of science, or you talking about the science of the earth?
No, our knowledge of science. Human development.
Man, we still be around. We just be like not doing shit.
No, but look, if you remember, they talked about cavemen. They talked about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
These are different species that's been wiped out by the earth. We're not able to be wiped out because we're able to detect tornadoes. We're able to detect certain things, earthquakes, and we're able to deal with it due to our mental. You know what I'm trying to say? Because we're a little bit more intelligent.
I got a theory for you, and where that intelligence come from, right? So, I think some alien shit landed, boom, asteroid hit. They said wipe the dinosaurs out. They didn't all get wiped out. There was a couple left. You feel me? Whatever the alien thing is, they mixed their DNA with the locals in the planet, the smartest locals they could find. You feel me? In order to create the humans, in order to populate and spread their shit onto the planet, right? And then all them dinosaurs. Or them dragons, those was the dinosaurs that was left over. And that's why they was kind of mythological, because it was rare. You feel me? And they run into some of them and then kill their ass, and that was it. You feel me? But that's I think where the intelligence.
I don't think people were around.
Fire. You feel me?
I don't think people was around as much if the dinosaurs was around, because of the fact that the kind of species, I don't think we could really coexist. That's why they talked about cavemen.
That's why we killed their ass. That's why they hunted their ass.
No, we ain't hunt them. The earth killed them. When the earth was getting hit by meteorite, because there was a time when the planet was being hit by meteorites.
Yeah, I don't know.
And because those species wasn't able to get shelter and able to withstand earthquakes and tsunamis, we able to detect that. Even when it's coming, we got detectors to let us know a tsunami's coming. Get away.
But what if that was like? But what if that was Sodom and Gomorrah?
What? Sodom and Gomorrah is where Sodom and Gomorrah is dealing with gays and
people. But what happened?
And fucking animals.
And people turned to salt. But
what happened? But
the fire came.
Exactly. How? So fire came from the sky. What is a meteor?
Same thing.
Well, similar, yeah.
Like the Chinese.
So what I'm saying, that you know what I mean, where the two things can be equally true. Where they over there like you. Well, there was a meteor shower, boom, hit the earth, and then because when they find the fossils of the mammoths or anything that they find enclosed, like they finding them, like they finding the human fossils, whatever. The mammoth was flash frozen and still has food in its stomach, so it didn't decay. It was like all of a sudden. So what
the
would
mountains
cause?
was during the ice age, so it was frozen.
But what I'm saying,
also like a meteor hit and it make that ash over. So all the ash
you see what I'm saying?
So it's kind of like the same.
No, I feel what you're saying.
It
preserved it. It kind of preserved it.
But what I'm saying is,
freezing because when
and
also
the earth.
hey, but you having that judgment saying in the biblical terms. I'm just saying. So say that happened, right? So they come down. How do they explain it? Oh, it was fire that came down from earth, from heaven. They hit the earth. Same thing as what if meteorites, a whole lot of them came down, hit the earth, started destroying it. Then you know what I mean. So I'm just saying, like those things can happen. And now they found that. Now when you talk about if you want to go to, you talking about pillar of salt. You talking about Lot's wife.
Well, I mean that's in the.
But and Lot's wife, they found the pillar of salt. That if you go out into the Middle East there, and you go out in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden you get this big old thing, pillar of salt. Like where did that come from? Why is it there? You see what I mean?
Well, like, I mean, I won't say that's. I mean, I'm a person that I'm strong on facts. So
I'm just saying. Well, facts are that. Why is it in the middle?
I can't say why it's there. I don't know why it's there. I don't know if that's the correct location. I really don't.
Hey, I'm not saying.
Hey, versus fishing. So hey, audience, check this out. When you are hearing some shit, what do? You gonna research some shit, or do you just take words for words?
You gotta research. You can't just be taking people.
Man, there's so many people that would just follow whatever somebody say blind. Following the news, that's some old school shit. That's
the news, preachers,
like old
anybody.
Ass
You gotta,
shit.
Anybody that tell you to follow anything, even religiously, politically.
Man, I gotta do my research.
Health wise, anything that pertain to you, you need to do your own research. That's my 2 cents on that.
For real. People be believing whatever the fuck.
You got something on that?
I got my own theories. You feel me? I make my own theories, and I can't fact check them because I came up with them.
I feel what you're saying.
Like the dinosaurs.
But that's what everybody do.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day,
I can do research to try to figure out if what I'm thinking.
But at the end of the day,
actually coincide with shit that actually happened. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, we're able to do that. You know, when you deal with religion and how people feel about certain things, that's more forceful. You get what I'm trying to say? They're trying to force it on you.
Right,
compared to just
believe.
Because I'm not a big person on faith. You know, if you look up the word faith, it means believing in something not seen. And when is that good? When is that ever a good thing to do? You know what I'm trying to say? You want to be a person that believes on something that's factual, something that's tangible.
You believe in the wind and you ain't never seen that.
Well, you feel it though.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't got to see it to feel it.
Some people
like
feel
blind people can get, a person can be blind and get smacked. I don't know if it's real. Didn't you feel it?
But I mean, you can like
you have other senses.
You can feel the music. You can feel the spirit. You can feel this thing that's real. That's like
you ever been like heard some certain music and shit and just gave you like this emotional feeling? Like,
yeah, of course.
I felt that in some churches, like when especially like when some of my partners died or something, and then they doing the choir singing and shit, and you just feel that.
It touches you
energy.
deep.
Yeah, it's something different.
It's something you can relate to.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, you know,
spirit up in you, bro. You gotta get that spirit up in you, bro.
See, that's the whole thing. I believe that we connect, that everybody could connect with one another, whether it's through music or whether it's something we can relate to. And that connection, there's a lot more things in life that we don't understand. So it's easy for people just to push it off on something. To be like, oh, you know, that's that spirit, or that's God, or that's this. You know what I'm trying to say? But really, deep, when you search deeper, it's something more. And there's a lot of things we don't know about.
Everybody has their own belief of what God is, though, at the same time.
Nah,
like, what I see as God, you might think of that as something different. You know what I mean? Like, I be feeling like we all God. You feel me? We all
I agree
part of
with
that shit. And it's, God is the being of all oneness.
Well,
like the one Bob Marley, one love. You feel me? That's kind of like
if you look at it, right, the word God means power, right? And you know, a lot of people may have their belief on what God wants you to do, and He gave you a book. But the word God means power.
That's not the definition. Look up God. Look up God on the phone. That ain't the. He over there using some blasphemous terms. That's over there.
All right, let's Google it.
Man over there talking about God mean power.
Like all powerful.
It means all power.
The definition of the word God, it depends on the religion that you're getting the definition from. In Christianity and other religions, the creator or ruler. In other religions, superhuman being or spiritual worshiper.
Like, but all powerful. Someone that got all power. You know?
Well, I mean, when you're talking about God, the one and only God, yes, all powerful. But if you talk about like,
well, then there's multiple gods too. God's a creator.
Who's the only?
Well, I'm
the
just saying, but
God?
different religions believe in different gods.
Right, different
and
deities.
what's crazy, like if you look at the Muslim religion, right? When they say Allah, right? Christians will be like, no, they worship Allah. They don't worship God.
Right.
Allah literally translate to God in the Arabic language. Mm-hmm. So when they're saying Allah, they're saying God.
But it's different because they own that Prophet Muhammad and they believe like different in as far
they
as
believe a little bit different, but they still believe they believe Jesus was a prophet too. They believe
but they don't believe Jesus is the way.
No, they believe he's the Messiah sent down by God as his son.
But it's different. It's the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah. So as one. They don't believe.
And then the Jewish believe that it's all blasphemy and Jesus wasn't. He was a false prophet.
So I don't believe in none of that. This is my belief.
Yeah.
I believe that God, if there is a God out there, right, that He created life, and that was it. I believe God is the creator of all things. Meaning He created, and He didn't give. Dude? Okay, I'm saying He because I'm speaking.
Why can't it be male?
Well,
listen.
Have you ever seen a male give birth?
All right, listen.
That don't mean that
a male can't give birth. He can't create life.
Do you understand that
it takes a male and a female?
Do you understand
that
he already?
So he's probably everything. Yeah, he's all powerful. He's not something in the flesh. It's a
hermaphrodite.
Oh well,
self-pollination.
Nah. Maybe he just. Maybe he just had a crazy baby mama. And he took custody. And he got full custody of his son.
Well, I believe.
Now,
I don't.
You never thought about that.
What you talking about, Mary?
No, nah. He blasphemous.
I believe. When I say He created life, I don't mean like life in a sense where He created every single every single human. I mean He started the spark of life, whether it be what they call the Big Bang.
So
and from the Big Bang you get evolution.
What is a big bang? It's a bang.
But we ain't talking about no evolutions, bro. We ain't doing that.
I actually seen where they actually talked about. They got a video of when conception first started. When a sperm enters the egg, and there is like a little flash of light that happened. They like recorded that shit.
It's the breath, bro. Huh? Breath of life. We got life.
You believe that everything here was Adam and Eve was from two people?
Well, what I'm saying is, I think there's more to the story. Like, there's
because that would be incest.
But
well, I mean, thereafter.
No, that would be incest all the way through.
No.
I mean, it's his rib, so it's more like masturbation.
Because he'll be fucking his rib, and then when they have kids, their kids will be fucking their kids.
No.
Like, who they gonna fuck? Who's around?
The other people that was around, they was the first man and female there, but I'm still.
What's the other peoples?
The Nephilim, the angels, the fallen angels.
They were people.
The angels ended up mating with the humans.
I don't know what's going on here.
The fallen angels. So think about it, Satan got thrown out, and he had, I believe, at least like 200 whatever folks with him. They all up on the earth. They are or
it'd still be incest after a certain amount of time.
But think about that. They over there start mating with the humans. They wasn't supposed to mate with the humans. So they mate with the humans. That's how you get these superhumans and all these quote unquote.
Hey, so you think the way, you know how we got different different races and shit now, right? Yeah. You think maybe because there was so much inbreeding back then that might have branching off, because they had to inbreed, right? In order for the humans to keep on going, like. If any species starts as one and multiplies,
see, I don't believe that. I don't believe no species started as one. I believe, like, for example, when you hear the word Adam and Eve, right? Adam, you think of the word atom. You think of an atom.
You think of an atom,
like a molecule,
single cell.
Right. So
not even less than a cell.
You think it's?
I think it's evolution. I really believe in evolution. I believe that we evolved to what we are now, and I think it could have been. It could have been a perfect mistake.
Evolution. No, you think it's like allegory stories where like the stories or they got different meanings. Like when they was talking about Adam, they was actually talking about the atom. And when they was talking about Eve, they was talking about, like...
And it was talking about the Son of God. It was probably actually talking about the Son, the actual Son.
And you think it's... Yeah,
because back in those times, the Egyptians actually worshipped the sun.
Yeah, and you talking about like...
You hear what I'm trying to say? But as times change, these translations get changed up and switched up for people to take control of other people.
Look at mythology.
Because slavery, but
it's been proven that Jesus actually lived, though.
Proven how?
Through historic documents and all this shit.
Yeah,
they didn't prove.
I don't think it's been proven.
Yes,
I think it's hearsay.
It's been proven that Jesus
I don't think they got that physical proof because according to the Bible, according to the Bible, Jesus said in the Bible that when he died, he risen and then he left and took his body to heaven. So in other words, he left no proof. So if people say they have proof, what proof do you have?
The proof is even in the Bible that after he was dead, that he showed himself to like hundreds of people.
But who's those hundreds of people? Who don't know they ain't liars? Who knows those hundreds of people ain't liars? Well, we're to say that we got to take their word for it.
Look,
people like to embellish stories.
But hold on, you got to take the word for it. But that's like with any history. So like we don't know what exactly happened with.
Right, that's why I don't.
Yeah. But we don't know exactly what happened with Martin Luther King. But we know what happened because we take their word for it and what we got for documentation. But we don't know what happened with Malcolm X. We taking what everybody said and the people that was there that saw and then they documented, right?
Yeah,
but that's more recent. That's more recent times. That's more recent times. And we got video recording.
But they have. But that's the video. But they have documentation from like historic documents, like all the way.
And I
back,
got parents that actually know that was alive.
But all the way back to. But that's what I'm saying. But all the way back to David. Like if you go historic documents that like,
I
don't think none of that's proven. You know why I say none of it's proven? Because you got to take in consideration that we came out of an era where it was war constantly. You get what I'm trying to say?
This is where it leads to. This is why it's fucked up because through the wars, a lot of the shit was burning books and
people trying to take over
and shit like that, where there was a lot of shit was destroyed. So. There's a lot of documentation. Like there was a lot of documentation in a lot of places. Then we got this other shit that's sealed up, like in the what's it called, the vaults, the Catholic shit, yeah, where they sealing this shit up and no one could look at it except for these.
But you know why no one could look at it? Because there's nothing there to look at.
There is stuff.
Because they
got magical shit in there. They got wizard.
They raping little boys in there. You talking about?
I don't know exactly what they doing.
What?
But what I'm saying,
not the current one.
What magical stuff they doing? But the madness that we've been talking about that's going on in this world with school shootings and all this other weirdness. Ain't no magical stuff they doing.
Open the Epstein files.
They got the documents though. They got the.
They got the documents.
They got the documents though.
The Epstein files in the Vatican.
They hidden down there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like. But think about it, like even like you know how.
And where the documents came from? But who wrote those documents?
Wait a minute. Like you know how they got other books.
There was always people writing.
Look, written
language has been since that and before that.
But think about the. Hold on. Let's go back. Even if we take it back all the way to the Bible, right? We know that
which version?
But that's what I mean. King James version. Constantine had that. King James had Constantine in them. Rewrite the dude that be
hunting the vampires?
I don't know about that, but he had them rewrite the Bible, and they had that whole Congress.
Right.
And the King James version came out, right? But think about that. He had all the scholars come around to rewrite the Bible, and they took the parts that they didn't want.
They took the Apocrypha out. They took the Josephus out. They took a couple of books out the Bible. But you know why they took it out?
Why?
Because you have to understand the Bible was something that was stories and folk tales told in Africa that was stolen from the Romans out of Africa that was used to enslave people because mentally.
Well, I mean, the story of Jesus does go back. It mimics the story of Set and what's it called and the fucking
and all that.
And a lot of the religious beliefs they mimic each other. Mythology. They all have 12 disciples. They all have one follower. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like when you get stuck in that mindset. Right, that you got to follow these rules and this pattern and this thing. You know, that's not how life is given. If you understand what I'm trying to say, you know, it's like that's rulership, that's control, and that's what I believe.
Well, it's always been used for control,
they've been used it for that exactly
for control purposes.
That's what I mean.
Even during slavery,
but they take. That's what I mean. They use that, and then they use that to enslave people. But that's what I mean.
and enslaved the mind.
If you had the ability to take it out, like, oh wait a minute, this book and this uprising, because remember they had the Crusades and all that, like there was a lot of killing that was going on.
And mind you, the Crusades was Christians going out there killing people who did not believe in Christ.
Exactly.
Forcing people to believe. No, but mind you, they forcing you to bow down and say you believe in it. And if you didn't, they killed you. So you can see why it's stained history.
Right. Exactly.
Why people believe in this man.
And that's why a lot of people
Here go the catch. Here go the catch. Everyone believes in this man Christ, right? And we got a actual figure, or actual picture that they got a representation of this man Christ, right?
Well,
but when you look it up, it's Caesar Borgia. It's a man that posed for that picture.
Yeah, because they said Christ had hair of wool and skin of bronze.
We know,
right?
We know. So look, hold on.
So where they even get that picture from?
Let me clarify this for you. We know that that's wrong. We know that, like, even the picture,
but it still sticks though.
But we know the picture of the Last Supper, like, even was like, or if you look at Michelangelo's and all that, like, it was like, it's people that we'll recommission that. It was like his family and, like, different people. So we know that that's been debunked. If you look at, like, what's the right word to say, like, actual ancient documents, like before they start quote unquote whitewashing things, everywhere across, wherever you see the Virgin Mary depicted or you see the Christ depicted, they're always brown skinned. If you look in England, if you look in their museums and you go in there, it's
it was a big thing to whitewash everything.
But I'm just saying, all the Madonnas,
because they was using it as they tool.
Exactly, but all the Madonnas and all that things, they were always brown skinned because they knew, and they all knew that the
okay. But when you say whitewashed, right? You have to keep in mind that they was only whitewashing a small sector of people.
No,
not the whole world.
Well,
but
not the whole world. Not everybody's oblivious to this. Like, for example, slavery.
They spread that across the world.
And you have to remember, everything that they done, they were taught. Even with slavery,
hey.
It wasn't like they had slaves. They seen the Africans having slaves.
No, all nations.
You get what I'm saying? Right. All
white people had slaves too.
Yeah, they own.
Have you seen the Salem witch trials?
Have you heard all that? Slaves in Asia
They've been had slaves.
Right.
They treated their slaves worse than the African slaves. Like, it was a way to get out of indenture. It was like indentured servitude. You can get out. They was over there. The slavery that they did, that was the slavery they did on their own people. That's the way they was. You know what I mean? That they introduced to the Africans. But as I'm saying, do you know about the Moors? You know about the Moors going in there and teaching them all that civilization and everything. So they knew about black people. Do you know that there was black kings and queens of England?
Of course.
Do you know all that? Like, there was. So we have been there. We have been teaching everybody. They knew all about that. They knew about the Black Christ. They knew about
Ireland.
It's just that after, like, going Columbus time and after all that stuff and everything, they used those things to
what
use it as a slavery indoctrination.
You heard of St. Patrick, right?
Yeah.
When they talking about getting all the snakes or whatever out of.
And who was the snakes?
That was a black folk. He was trying to get the black folks out of Ireland.
Say all that, but we was in Ireland.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think?
The Norwegians too.
We was everywhere. We didn't went everywhere.
Vikings was one of the most mixed cultures at a certain time, because they would go. So when they conquered places, they'd bring people in. They take the strong warriors. They take the fine hoes, and they bring them with them.
Of course. No, that's just what they did.
That's how it was back then.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, but we've been everywhere. As far as that, we was already going. You don't think that we had? How did you know? How did they know to come back over there and get them strong old Africans
America
to go?
is real unique in the fact that the way it uses race as a weapon. Dehumanization through race shit. You know what I mean? When they did the slavery, they said less than humans. They made them wear like something different. You feel me?
But we've been on this.
Yeah.
What else we got today? We just been on this stuff. We know what happened. Like we didn't say it. We've been everywhere. We've been all around. We was there, and just give us our props.
And you know who else was there?
Who?
Dr. Umar.
Yeah,
man. Man. Hey, chat, y'all been seeing Dr. Umar lately? Remember he over there, all his Pan-Africanism, and he over there trying to shame all the black men for getting with the snow bunnies and trying to shame.
Bro, he tried to shame Kobe Bryant And she ain't even a Snow. She like got some Mexican, some other shit. What's her name?
Vanessa Bryant.
Yeah.
His ex.
Right. I was like, hold on, man. You done crossed the line.
His widow, I should say. His widow.
Tripping.
But anyway, Dr. Umar lately has been on the internet talking about how he broke and talking about how his accounts got frozen and Dr. Umar don't have access to any money. And then also after that, he get on and talk about how now his school, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, whatever he got, I think that's what it's called, or Marcus Garvey Frederick Douglass, whatever,
he's trying to open.
whatever. That now they got without notice, they just came up and put a thing on his door and telling them that they're gonna foreclose on it or whatever.
So is this
they're gonna auction it off,
or is this him?
No,
not paying his bills?
it's legitimately they're gonna auction off the property because apparently he didn't pay the property taxes. But he on there saying that like he had a waiver that he tried to petition the county for or whatever. And if they would have given him the waiver, the exemption that they supposedly qualify for, then they wouldn't owe any taxes or any whatever. But they didn't give it to him, so he owes like $30,000-$40,000. Otherwise, they're gonna foreclose on it or auction it off, and without his notice and knowledge. But he proceeds to say that, like he first say they're gonna auction off, and they didn't give him no notice. But then he was like, "Oh, but back in April, they told him that he did this, and he filed." So that he can get the exemption or whatever. And it was like, if they grant him the exemption, then he wouldn't owe anything. But it hasn't been granted to him yet, so he owes this money.
All right,
so do you think he's right or the county right?
So they didn't give him the exemption, is what you're saying?
So yeah, he hasn't qualified for it yet.
Basically, it's almost like applying for a grant, but they denied his grant, right?
Well, they haven't responded to it yet. So it's like you saying like, for your taxes, hey, they owe me. If they give me this exemption, then I don't owe this tax. But they ain't gave it to me yet,
and I still owe that money.
So you still owe that money until they give you the exemption. You see what I mean?
He might be getting snow bunnied.
I don't know.
Snow bunny.
But he on the internet. This the same man that was talking about
with the tax man. He talked tax
man. Hey, hit
like
my Cash App. Hit my what's the other one? Hit my Venmo. Hit my Cash App. Donate. Asking everybody to donate.
I was cool. Like I said, I was cool with the whole interracial shit that he be going like crazy about that shit.
I can't mess with him.
I
mean, I don't really follow him to know what he's about. But anybody that's not about, anybody that's about separation, I can't fuck with them. Because I feel like we all need each other. Whether y'all want to see it that way or not.
And then also like breeding with different races, you also creating kids that's Brazilian on both sides. You feel me? If that makes sense. Like,
no, I get what you're saying.
Like there's some diseases that disaffect different races. Like white people might just have this one certain thing. Black folks might got something. You know what I mean? But when you almost break that shit out because you spreading the genetics further.
Like that.
It's like breeding weed.
Like when you get that on your lip, when you talk about like.
Bro, we ain't gonna go there. Not me. I ain't damn sure ain't getting nothing on mine.
You always say you had a theory that only certain people. Get that thing on their lip.
Oh yeah. Like certain, like you ever seen?
Here we go. See here.
You ever seen some black girls with the little thing on their lip?
The fuck you talking about? I'm sorry.
Yeah, like the little thing, the little sore.
Oh, you mean herpes?
Is that what that is?
I mean, if you get any kind of sore on your lips,
there they go.
That's exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I haven't seen it personally because
but I
don't be around people.
Get that shit.
Huh?
There they go.
I don't think black girls get that shit. I ain't never seen.
Well, let me let you know. If you look it up, I think anybody who's vulnerable to it will get it.
Well, maybe they get it, but it don't show the same.
But they probably hide it better.
Or maybe it doesn't act the same in their body.
Oh, they probably hide it better. They probably stay away.
He just said he personally know certain people that can.
So look at also like sickle cell, like you feel me?
What is that primarily
sickle,
in?
Huh?
What is that primarily in?
That's black folks in Africa. They got their sickle cell, right? But that shit could breed out too. Like say if they was to go get them Asian girlfriend or something, them kids would most likely not have that because the gene ain't passed down you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
So it's one of them things where like I feel like everybody should be I mean, it's all your preference, really. Whatever color you like, just take that. But don't try to imply or impose your preference on other people.
Hey,
Like, don't say that. Oh, you shouldn't be bringing with that. Like, that's bullshit, bro. That's like we all one people to begin with. We might have spread out and separated, and all different motherfucking colors came out this shit. But that shit reunite and all them. You know what I mean?
It's like Apple.